My name is Bryant Moore.
My name is Belinda Moore.
I think I came out of church one day and I turned my radio dial AM. She was talking about how to live single and how to please God while you've been single until you find the right one. And I said, I want to listen to her. It sounds good, because that's what I was trying to do in my life. I wasn't trying to rush in things, but I want to make sure it's the right person and the right circumstances.
I have been looking for, I don't know if necessarily a singles ministry, but I've been looking for an atmosphere where I could feel free. And because I used to say, the next time I date the next person, I wanted to be my husband. And of course I didn't want to have sex before marriage again. No way. And so when I came across Singles Pleasing the Lord and they were actually teaching that message, it just felt at home. What drew me to Singles Pleasing the Lord is just the rawness of the material of trying to be sexually and emotionally pure. And there's just also a place where I can, get further rooted in the Word.
Well, first of all, I was just trying to make sure I wasn't the only guy that had the attitude and mindset, no sex before marriage, and think that was a bad thing for a person. Say, well, I could wait a couple of months, but I just realized that I need something more than just some small statistic. But when I found Single Pleasing the Lord, it helped me strengthen my resolve and faith in God that I can live without my mindset on just a sexual dating or just getting back in quote unquote the limelight. And that it helped me, with my son, I had to set example. So I want to make sure that I was going to do it the right way.
For me to be actively engaged, I started going to the Bible studies at that time. Singles Pleasing the Lord had a Bible study at Lau. And so it was just right down the street from my job. So it was really convenient for me to go there, get active. And then I also joined the Ministry of Helps team. And because I wanted to serve, I found a ministry that spoke to me, that was meet me where I was at and building up my single life. And so I wanted to also serve in that capacity. So I was on the Ministry of Helps team. So I had a list. And what Sister Debbie, at the end of the day, don't let the list, you have to put down your list and be open to God. So I had a list, and it was definitely, he didn't meet the age requirements of the list. But honestly, when I looked at everything else, because of course I wanted a godly man, someone who was in the church, and not just in the church, but that he loved God, and you could tell he loved people. And so Brian, just in us talking, he was active at his church. He was doing the Sunday school and different things like that. And so one thing that was important to me is to be yoked together with someone who loves family. And so Brian talked about how basically he helped with his parents, helped take care of them, and then they had passed away, but just the active role that he was in that. And so I needed to feel comfortable because I had an active role with my parents in helping them, and I needed to feel comfortable that whoever I was going to be with is, will support that active role. And so yeah, that, and but when I looked at all of the other items, he really, he's not as frugal as me, and don't nobody I don't need to be with somebody that's more than me. But I could tell from that he had saved, because we talked about savings and different things like that. And so all around you could tell that he just had a heart for God and for people, and that he would treat me right. That's important. And so when I think back to Sister Debbie, one thing that always stuck with me, she was saying, God is so committed to your success and he won't let you miss it. So whereas before in those past relationships, like I said, in my mind, I'm like, he gonna have to tell me. And so, but that phrase, he won't let you miss it. I just took to that phrase. And so when it came time, he did say, Belinda, okay, you got these people telling you about your walls, deal with the walls. And so I just, I thank God because I remember that phrase that he won't let me miss it, and he's committed to my success and for me to be open.
I really didn't have that. I didn't have that many checklists. Like I say, it was really kind of 2 or 3. That person loved the Lord. Active in the church, willing to not settle.
Tell them your reaction to my list when I showed it to you.
Oh, when I saw her list, I said, "Oh Lord, I gotta pass this test, another test." And I did. I prayed, said, "Lord, you're gonna have to do this because this woman got a list, and I don't know if I can pass that list." But eventually God is good. So I still held on the word, and I left it on to God. But I knew she was. I knew she was gonna. I knew she was gonna be Mrs. Moore. I knew that. But God had to let her know she was going to be Miss Moore. I couldn't tell her.